Just like any good father, any good mother. You understand? We're going to go ahead and get started.
Facebook clear.
No. You make it public. No. We left off in Numbers. Chapter 1, dude. No, we got to chapter 2, I believe.
Come. Numbers chapter 2.
Everything's water. Okay. Young man, come present yourself. You're going to stand right here. And you stand at a majum, which is this right here. This is our majum, and this is our majum Shabbat, alright? So now you stand at a majum, have your fist ball like this right here, and put them to the seams of your pants, alright? You're going to state your registry, just like what I just said. So you're going to say, what's your name?
Casey Parker.
Say Casey Parker, Bun Yahawada, Bun Yashala, alright? Yeah, you say Casey Parker, Bun Yahawada, Bun Yashala. All right. Okay. Present thyself.
Amad Shema?
No, you stand at Amad.
Casey Parker, Amad Shema.
And then you go on the Amad Shabbat.
Shabbat.
And then Amad.
Amad.
Salute. Now say it again. So like you say Casey Parker.
Casey Parker, Amad Shabbat, Amad Shabbat.
Casey Parker, and we both repeat it.
Okay.
Casey Parker, Bun Yahawada, Bun Yashala. All right. Now you come on and you're going to sit right here in the middle. Oh, go ahead, Con.
All right, yeah.
You can stand for now because we're about to sing prayers, all right? Go ahead. Right hand, all right? You want to extend it out like this. Extend it, go ahead, extend your hand out and put your left hand over here, like you're saluting, just like that. All right, you're going to say La Yasha'Allah, okay?
La Yasha'Allah.
La Yasha'Allah. Go ahead.
La.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
La Yasha'Allah.
La. Say La.
La.
Sha'Allah.
Sha'Allah. La Yasha'Allah.
La Yasha'Allah. La Yasha'Allah. Now you drink it. And then you just hand it back to me. The water now. Help me uncover this scroll.
Good shot.
Okay, Imajim, which means to stand. Well, Punya Hakudam, which means to turn and face the east. So the east is back that way, so straight back. All right, we're going to read the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
The Lord's Prayer in the last Shema Kudah.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, God.
Let me see. have him put over his shoulder. It just says the first priest uncovers the scrolls, then the second priest says, I'm not going to come. So I'm just going to follow with you don't see that, do you, in there? Where it says for him to put it on his shoulder?
Yeah, cut on my son.
You don't see it?
In 18. It's in 18. During the prayer, the first priest called on the scroll.
Okay, God. Okay. Now you're going to put this over your right shoulder. Alright? So I got you. Or your right.
You said
right shoulder.
Slide.
No, you too hard. That was my fault. Okay. We're going to start with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
Come with God. The Lord's Prayer in the Lashon Kodash. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayah. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakufka. Taba'ah. Batazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Baratazah. Kawa. Hayah. Shemayah. Lathandanawa. Lakam. Yawam. Wasalaknanawa. Kabawaknawa. Kasalaknawa. Kabawaknawa. Wala'ah. Banasayawah. Abor. Mayan, Rad, Kaya, Laka, Kamalakwa, Wahatapara, Awalumya, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us. From evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Hakat, the power in the Lashon Kodash. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Baba Kushah. Lathandanawa. Hakak. Lara Pa'ah. Kal Machala. Wakal Marawa. Hakak. Latahar. Ha Matazariah. Hakak. Lahakwiya. Hamathia. Hakak. Our Hatama'ala. Lagarashan. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. The water Aman. In the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Lashon Kodash. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Ahohoyim. Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Isaiah. Ma'ay. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayah. Wa'aratazah. Al-Yathan. Lamawat. Wagalka. Al-Yanawam. Shamaraka. Hana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yashan. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamaraka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Al-Yad. Yunyanka. Yawamam. Hashamash. La'ah. Yakarka. Wayarak. Balayala. Yahweh. Yashamaraka. Makal Rai. Yashamar. Napashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Haza'afka. Wabawa'aka. Ma'itha. Wa'aid. Awalam. Aman. In the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold. He that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. good.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 83 in the Lashuan Kodash. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al Damiyan Laka.
Al Damayah Lakah.
Al Tacharash.
All Salakia. So I say it again.
Say Al Tacharash.
All Thacharash.
Wa Al Tashakwat.
Wa all Tashakwat. All
Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awayabyaka.
Awayabyaka.
Yahama Yawan.
Yahama Yawan.
Wa Mashanayaka.
Wa Mashanayaka.
Nasha'awa.
Nasha'awa.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al Aimaka.
Al Imaka.
Ya Arayamwa.
Ya'arayamwa.
Sawad.
Sawad.
Wayata ya ai tazawa.
Wayata Ya'ai Tazawa.
Al tazapawan yaka.
Al Tazapawanyaka.
Amarawa.
Amorawa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakak yadam.
Wanakakidam.
Magoya.
Magoya.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Shem Yasha'ala.
Aiwa.
Aiwad.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Na Salaki Nawa ai tazawa.
Nawa'ai Tazawa.
Lab.
Lab.
Yakhadwa.
Yakhadwa.
Alyaka.
Alyaka.
Barak.
Barya.
Yakarafwa.
Yakarafwa.
Alhalya.
Ahalya.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wa Yashamai Alayam.
Wayashama'aliyam.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagoyam.
Wahagoyam.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa Amawan.
Wa'amawan.
Wa Aimalak.
Wa'amalak.
Palashat.
Palashah.
Slakia. I'm Slakia. Palashat.
Palashah.
Wa I'm Yashabya.
I'm Yeshabya.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Aimam.
Imam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarawai.
Zarawai.
Labanya Lawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha Laham.
Aisha Laham.
Kamadyan.
Ramadyan.
Kasaya Sara'a.
Kasaya Sara'a.
Kayabyan.
Kayabyan.
Banachal.
Banachal.
Koyashwan.
Koyashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Ba'ayan Da'ara.
Ba'ayan Da'ara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La'adama.
La'adama.
Shayatumwa.
Shayathamwa.
Narayamawa.
Adayamawa.
Ka'aira.
Ka'ira.
Wakaza'aba.
Wakaza'aba.
Wakazaba.
Wakazaba.
Wakatazalmanai.
Wakatazalmanai.
Kal Nasakamwa.
Kal Nasayakamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amara.
Amorwa.
Nayarasha.
Nayarasha.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Ah. Na'ara.
Na'awa.
Alahayam.
Alahayam.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shayatamwa.
Shayathamwa.
Kagalgala.
Kagalgala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya Rafa.
Lapanya Rakha.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Daba'ayra Ya'ayra.
Saba'ira Ya'ira.
Wakalahaba.
Wakalahaba.
Salahat.
Salahat.
Haryam.
Haryam.
Khan.
Khan.
Daradapma.
Daradapma.
Basa'ayraka.
Basa'iraka.
Wabasawapaka.
Wabasawapaka.
Dabahalam.
Dabahalam.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyaham.
Panyam.
Kwalawan.
Kwalawan.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wayabakwashwa.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wayabahalwa.
Wayabahalwa.
Aya'ay.
Aya'ay.
Wayabaparwa.
Wayabaparwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayada'aywa.
Wayada'aywa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Ata.
Ata.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Nabarka.
Nabarka.
Ayawan.
Ayawan.
Al.
Al.
Hal.
Hal.
Ha'arataza.
Ha'arataza.
Aman.
Aman. In the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
Be not still, O Yahweh.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
Against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said.
They have said,
Come.
come
And let us cut them off.
and let us cut them off
From being a nation.
from being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel
May be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom
And the Ishmaelites.
and the Ishmaelites
Of Moab.
of Moab
And the Hagarines.
and the Hagarines,
Gabal.
Gabal,
And Ammon.
and Ammon,
And Amalek.
and Amalek,
The Philistines.
the Philistines,
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher also is joined with them.
Asher also has joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah,
Do unto them.
do unto them
As unto the Midianites.
as unto the Midianites,
As to Sisera.
as to Sisera,
To Jabin.
as to Jabin,
At the brook of Kison.
at the book of Kasan,
Which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like Oreb
And like Zer.
and like Zered.
Yea.
Yea,
All their princes.
all their princes,
As Zabah.
as
And
Zabah,
as Zamunah.
as Amunah,
Who said.
who said,
Let us take to ourselves.
let us take to
The
ourselves
houses of Yahweh in possession.
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a
As
wheel,
the stubble before the wind.
as the stubble before the wind,
As the fire burneth the wood.
as the fire burneth the wood,
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute them
With thy tempest.
with thy tempest,
Make them afraid with thy storm.
and make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame,
That they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh,
Let them be confounded.
let them be confounded
And troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea.
Yea,
Let them be put to shame.
let them be put to shame
And perish.
and perish,
That men may know.
that men may know
That thou.
that thou,
Whose name alone.
whose name alone
Is Yahweh.
is Yahweh,
Art the most high.
art the most high
Over all the earth.
over all the earth.
So be it.
So be it. Blessings in the Lashawan Kodash. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Why Yahweh Shai?
Wa Mayat Allah.
Why Mayaka Allah?
Wa Alahayim.
Why Alahayim?
Matazayab Ya'ah.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Alawak Yahana.
Alawak Yahana.
Ha Alawakyam.
Ha Alawakyam.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Kwatazayanyam.
Ha Kwatazayanyam.
Ha Khayaryam.
Ha Khalagyanyam.
Slack it. Wa Ha'akwakyam.
Why Ha'akwakyan.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
By Shem Yahushua.
By Hashem Yahushai.
The water of mud.
The water Aman in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushai.
And Yahushai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels. Commanding General Yana.
Commanding General Yahana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
The prayer of the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose the treasure.
And shake loose the treasure.
Of the rich of Israel.
Of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
To enter thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nation.
And their drug dealers.
And the drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
And all the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitatus.
Posse Comitatus.
The gay movement.
Gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marine.
Marine.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
and the airways,
the
cable access channel, and the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you always. So be it.
Bless Israel in the Lashawan Kodash. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. Barak Lanawa. Wa Yasha'ala. Waha Bayah Saparium. Barak. Rapa'ah. Magan. Hagan. Bahashim Yahushua. The water.
Aman. What we said in English was Yahweh in the name of Yahushua, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Sar, which means to turn. Yeshabi, which means to be seated. I'll sit right there in front. That way you got to put the stuff, the water out. Okay, we left off in Numbers, the 2nd chapter last week. So again, we in Numbers, the 2nd chapter. We in the first verse? Okay, we Numbers chapter 2, verse 1. Alright, so everybody that's following along, we Numbers chapter 2, verse 1. All Akim got it? Let me know. Everybody get Numbers chapter 2, verse 1. Okay, no sweat. Okay, Numbers chapter 2, verse 1. Can you read it in the Hebrew? You want to learn today? Alright. Numbers chapter 2, verse 1. Waya Debar. Yeah. But you ain't got to repeat that to me. So like, do you know how to read it? Have you been looking at Lashawan Kodash?
I have.
Okay, you still learning. No sweat. You just follow along, but you don't got to repeat it now. Waya Debar, Yahweh, Al, Mashah, Wa'al, Aharon, that's Aaron, La'amar, verse 2, Ayash, Al, the Galwa, Ba'athaf, Labayath, Abatham, Yachanawa, Bunya, Yasha'ala, Managad, Sabayab, Lahal, Mawa'id, Yachanawa, Yachanwa for water. Verse 3. Wahachanyam,
Quada Salakia.
So I got that correct. Yachanawa.
Yachanawa, for water. Wahakanyam, Quada Ma, Mazaracha, Degal, Makana, Yahawada, that's Judah. Salak, yes, Laga. La Taza Ba'atham, Wana Shaya, Salakia. Wana Shaya, Labanya, Yahawada, Nakhashwan, Bun, I'm a Yandab, I'm a Yandab, that's what, I'm a Yandab, verse 4. What's a bun? What's
So you said I'm Yandab?
Khan.
Yeah, that's right.
Khan. What's a quad Yahun? Salaki. What's a quad Yahum? Arabai. What's a Bayum? Alap. Washash. Washashah, the water. Washashah, Ma'irath. So like Ma'awath. Verse 5. Kanyum. Al-Yum. Salakia. Al-Yuwa. Mata'ah. Yashakar, that's Isupk. Wana Shaya, Labanya, Yashakar, Nafna'al, Bun, Salakia, Nathan the water, Nathan Allah, Bun, Tazawa'ai, Salakia. Tazawa'ira. Verse 6. Watazabawa. Wasaqwadayan. Araba'ai, Wakama Shayam, Alap, Wa'iraba, Salaki, Wa'iraba'ai, Ma'awath, verse 7, Mata, Zaba, Salaki. Zabawalan, Salaki, Zabalawan, Wana Shaya, Labanya, Zabalawan, Salaki, Alayaab, Bun, Khalan. Alright.
Alright, you can read it. You go ahead, you're right, you can read it in English. But make sure you follow along, guys.
Come on, classic.
Numbers chapter 2 verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, verse 2, every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standard with the ensign of their father's house.
Anybody know what an ensign is? Sisters know? Young men, you know what an ensign is? Might give it a shot. Just guess. That's good. That's close. The brother said a sign. That's close. That's very close. Rush?
It's an insignia, like a signature.
In this instance, it's a flag. It's their father's house. So, like in schools across our nation, you got the ensign or the signs of each tribe. The tribe of Judah is the lion. Who is Zebulon is the ships, I believe. The tribe of Zebulon. Levi or Loya, the tribe of Levi, the so-called Haitian brothers and sisters, they're the dice. You understand? The Urim and the Thummim, that's dice. So they each have a sign. So Moses is commanding Aaron. He's telling Aaron to tell the brothers and sisters, each tribe to gather under their ensign or under their tribe's flag. You understand? Keep going.
Far off.
So like, go to chapter 2, verse 2 again.
Come. Numbers chapter 2, verse 2. Every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standard with the ensign of their father's house.
Of their who?
Father's house.
Of their mother's house.
Father's house.
The scriptures right here is clear. Like, if you've been following along, every week leading up to now, in the book of Numbers, the last books of Leviticus, the last chapters of Leviticus, it's all about who your father is. You understand? Like, I was just telling the brother before class, the brother asked such a heavy question. And what we don't understand, because we're Christian, is we don't value, because we're raised Christian, we don't understand, because in the Christian church, you're not taught to value black men. You understand? And so we don't care and give a damn about who our fathers are. 9 times out of 10, if you even know who your father is. The Lord, who your father is, always have mattered to the Most High.
That's right.
It is very important. Sisters have to understand, it is very important who you choose to marry. Who your father is matters. It always has and it always will. The American philosophy or ideology of, you are with your mother, a mix, biracial, that's not in the Bible. There's no such thing as mix anything. You are whatever your father is. A dog don't make a cat. You understand? If I was to plant a seed here or in Texas or in New York, if I plant a rose seed in Texas, a rose is going to grow. If I plant a rose seed in New York, a rose is going to grow. No matter where that man plants the seed, it's always going to come back his lineage. You understand? That's very important to understand about the Bible, and that's very important to understand about now, the scripture that we read now. Because it didn't say that they lined up after the house of their mothers. You understand? They lined up out of the house of their fathers. You understand? Judah, Simeon, Levi, Zebulon, who else? Asher, Gad, Reuben. Like, this is the tribes of Israel based off of the men of Israel. All right, keep going.
Far off about the tabernacles of the congregation shall they pitch. Verse 3. And on the east side, toward the rising of the sun, shall they of the standard of the camp of Judah pitch throughout their armies. And the Shah, the son of Amminadab, shall be captain.
Shall be what?
Captain.
Shall be what?
Captain.
Keep going.
Of the children of Judah.
Once again, it's order all throughout the Bible. That's right. You understand? There's no you voting to choose who your leader is. Nobody here voted for Abinadab to be chosen to be captain of the children of Judah.
Right.
Nobody chose Moses to be leader of the nation of Israel. Right. Nobody chose Joshua. Nobody chose commanding general. Nobody chose Christ. Like, that's something that goes over a Christian's head. Nobody chose Christ to be the leader of Israel. Nobody chose him to be the king. God chose him.
That's right.
And that's what matters. It don't matter what you believe or your opinion about who this is or who that is. Who cares what you think or what you feel? It's about what the Lord wants. The necessities of a nation will always be their want or desire. A personal want or desire can never be what the nation needs. The nation needed a Moses. The nation needed somebody to lead them, so the Lord chose somebody to lead them. They didn't cast votes. Where in the Bible did it say they put votes up for who Moses? We want Moses to be our leader. We want Joshua to be we want Caleb. Nah, the Most High chooses your leader, which is something that, again, that gets lost in the church. Because we've been under Christianity and American philosophy of voting and democracy and republic, you think that the Lord is a republic and a democracy. He's not. It's a dictatorship. You do what you're told. And if you don't, there's an ultimatum. You die. your children die. Captain Ash was just going over in the class last night from the Feast of Purim. The family, where the brother, he disobeyed the direct order from his captain and the Lord, which is an order from the Lord. If you get an order from a brother here, that's from the Lord. And so this brother disobeyed it, and guess what happened? His whole family died. They all perished. Why? Because they disobeyed an order. Like we think in the world, oh, you can choose who you want to follow. You can choose this. Nah, you can't choose. If you choose, you die. If you make the wrong choice, you die. There's a punishment and a penalty for the wrong choice you make. Keep going.
Verse 4, and his host, and those that were numbered of them, were 314,600. Verse 5, and those that do pitch next unto him shall be the tribe of Isupk, and the Phinil, the son of Zerah, shall be captain of the children of Isupk.
Anybody know who the children of Issachar is today? Go ahead, sis.
The so-called Mexicans.
Damn right, get a sister hand. That's right. The children of Issachar today are the so-called Mexicans. And going back up, so like I skipped one, the children of Judah. Everybody know who the children of Judah is? Anybody want to give it a shot? You know who the children of Judah is?
Negroes, right?
The so-called Negroes, us, me. I can't say his brothers are Gadite. You understand? He's the children of Gad. But you are so-called Judite. I'm assuming the sisters Judites. You understand? The so-called Negroes. Go ahead, sis. Oh, Most High Christ, get a sister hand. Nah, I'm with it. Whoa, Most High Christ, listen, that's hardcore and heavy, man. Like, that's a beautiful thing to know what your lineage is, what your nationality is.
That's right.
Like, we always thought growing up, we African American, we colored, we this and we that. We every byword and proverb, like the scripture said we would be. But it's such an amazing thing. It's so liberating.
Right.
Black women love talking about liberation. You come in here and be liberated because then you're going to find out who you really are.
Right.
Your mother didn't know who your father is, but we can tell you who your father is based on the scriptures in the Bible. You understand? This is a Benjamite, a so-called Judite. I'm a Judite. Brother is a Gadite, a Judite. It's amazing. You understand? And this is what's going on. Like something that also gets lost is keeping records. Black people don't know how to, because of slavery and Christianity, keeping records are an important thing, man. And this is what we're reading right. The reason we're able to even read this is because there were brothers that kept records of families. There were brothers that kept records of inheritances. Brothers that kept records of events. Scribes, men that actually wrote the scriptures. That's who wrote the Bible. The scribes that followed Moses. The scribes that followed Christ and the 12 disciples. Because we were all about keeping records. And black people have to get back to keeping records to maintain your lineage.
That's right.
That's how you're going to tell your children, well, you know your great-great-great-grandfather was the king of this and that. Like, don't get it twisted. In Christ's kingdom, we are keeping records out. You're going to know who your father was, like them damn Chinese. Them damn so-called, the nation of Moab, the so-called Chinese and of Ammon, Japanese, they can keep records all the way to the 3rd dynasty. The 3rd Ming dynasty. Like, we think it's funny, but because of slavery, we lost damn near everything. If it wasn't for the UPK, we wouldn't know who the hell we were.
Right.
Like, these other nations, brother, that's something that, brother, I damn near envy these other nations for knowing who the hell their fathers were. Like, they keep records of lineages because, of course, they weren't put in captivity like we were. But they keep records, man, and we have to get back to that. Keep records, and that's what the Bible is. This Bible is our record. It's our constitution, man. And it matters. You understand? Don't let nobody tell you that this Bible and this book don't matter. Keep going.
Verse 5. Verse 6. And his host, and those that were numbered thereof, were 54,400. Verse 7. Then the tribe of Zebulun and Eliab, the son of Helon, shall be captain of the children of Zebulun.
Anybody know who the tribe of Zebulun is? Anybody want to give it a shot? Zabalawan in the Hebrew. The tribe of Zebulun. Anybody know who that is? You want to give it a shot, young man? It's a northern tribe. Spanish-speaking tribe. Spanish-speaking. Go ahead, sis.
Is it Colombia?
Is it Colombia? No, that's not. That's Asher. Salakia. Rosh, you want to go ahead and tell them who Zebulon is?
If I'm not mistaken, Guatemala from Panama.
Con. That's Zebulon. The ships. That's the ship. The sign of the ships.
Right, Con.
Yeah, because that's all those ports down there. You understand? So that's who Zebulon is. You understand? Again, because of Christianity and slavery, really slavery. Because of slavery, we almost lost our identity.
God.
You understand? If it wasn't again for like give Commander Gianna and his rescue hand for him holding down this truth. So now in so-called 2021, we able to now know who we belong to. Before we thought we was some dirty, stinging, disgusting Puerto Rican, or some New York Rican, or some Negro, some Christian Negro with a suit and a tie, some upstanding Muslim, and assalamu alaikum. We thought we was everything under the sun, every Negro, every colored, every spick and byword, but that's not a redskin. That's what they call this brother's family redskins when they're not even red, man. But we lost all of that because we was subjugated under our oppressor, who is the devil. The Bible speaks of. But thank the Lord, man. Thank the Lord for the Israelite School UPK and these brothers, Commander Junior on down, holding down this truth. So now we can go through these records and find out who we belong to, who our fathers are. All right, keep going.
Verse 8.
Oh, Salakia. It was the 7. Can I just stop at 7? Salakia, what time did we start?
I believe we started around 9. That's like 10:15 or something.
Okay, we got time to go ahead and read 7 more verses. You go ahead and pick it up, and make sure the brother follow along with you in Hebrew, because I got it in Syrian. He can look at it in the Paleo Hebrew.
Come on.
Numbers chapter 2, verse 8 in the Lashawan Kodash. What says about Iowa? What Pequadua? Shabai? What Chayat? What Chamashim? Allah? What Arabai? Ma'awa? Verse 9. Kal Hapequadium Lamachana Yahoda Ma'at Allah Washamanyim Allah Washashat Washashatha Alapyam Wa Arabai Ma'awa La Tazba'atham Ra'ash Ra'ashana Ra'ashana Ya Sa'ad Yashai Yeshaiwa. Verse 10. The God Machana Ra'aba Thayamana La Tazba'atham Wana Yasha'at Wana Yasha'at Labanya Ra'aba Alaya Tazawar. Alaya Tazawar. Al Yatazawar. Al Yatazawar. Bad Shad Ya'awar. Shad Ya'awar. Verse 11. What is about Awa? What Pequadua? Shasha. What Arabayim? Allah. What Hamash? Ma'awa. Verse 12. What Shema? What Shemawa? Ayawa. Ma'ai. Wrong word. Start from the front to verse 12. Wahawa is Wahawama. Ayawa. Mata. Shemawa. Wanasiyah. Labanya. Shemawa. Shalom Ya'ala, Ban Tazawaya, Shadia. Verse 13. What is about Awa? What Pequadya? Thashai. What Hamashya? Allah. What Shalash? Ma'awa.
I think
14.
Verse 14. Wamata. God. Wana Shaya, Labanya God, Ala Yasa, Ban Rai wa Allah.
Alright, bro, you can read it in English for me. And we started at verse 8. So you're going to read from verse 8 all the way down to verse 14, alright?
And his hosts and those that were
Always leave where you reading.
Numbers 2, verse 8.
Where's your voice, alright?
And his hosts, and those that were numbered, therefore, were 57,400. All that were numbered, verse 9. And all that were numbered in the camp of Judah were all 100,000, and 80,000, and 6,400 throughout the armies that is be first set forth. Verse 10.
These shall first set
forth. Verse 10. On the south shall be the standard of the camp.
On the south side,
Oh.
the other side. Take your time, alright?
Verse 10. On the south side shall be standards of the camp.
What? Where you at?
Verse 10.
Shall be the standard.
Verse 10. On the south side shall be standards of the camp of
Reuben.
Reuben,
You know
according.
who the tribe of Reuben is?
No.
Anybody know who the tribe of Reuben is? Nobody know Reuben. It's so sad what happened to the tribe of Reuben, just like what happened to the tribe of Gad. Reuben are the so-called, go ahead,
Seminole Indians.
Seminole Indians down there, Alabama to Florida. You understand? That's where they dwelled. Obviously, they could have been other places, but that's where they were. That's where their habitat was. From Alabama all the way to Florida in the swamps. You understand? Like, what happened to them, I was actually just reading a story earlier this week, last week actually, about the Seminole Indians that helped blacks and Hispanics out of slavery. They helped the Hispanics on the border, and they was helping the brothers here, the tribe of Judah here, that was running from their slave master down there in Florida. In fact, St. Augustine, Florida, which is the oldest city in America, black people that fled down there with the Seminoles were free. Because they fought, the Seminole Indians would fight against our oppressors, just like the tribe of Gad tried to do when they finally realized what our oppressors' intent was, bringing those blankets with smallpox and all of that garbage that they did, all the horrible, horrific things they did to the tribe of Gad and Reuben. Reuben, man, Seminole Indians are some fighters just like the tribe of Gad, man. So don't forget about Reuben, man. Reuben are the Seminole Indians. The so-called Seminole Indians is what they're called, but Reuben is who they are, according to the Bible. All right, keep going.
Verse 10. On the south side shall be the standards of the camp of Reuben, according to the armies. And the captain of children of Reuben shall be Elazar, the son of Shador. Verse 11. And his host and those that were numbered therefore were 46,500. Verse 12. And those which pitched by him shall be the tribe of Simeon. And the captain of children of Simeon shall be Shalumiah, the son of Sharushadai. Verse 13. And the host, and thou shalt be numbered, and his host, and thou shalt be numbered. Those that were numbered of them were 59,300. Verse 14. And then the tribe of Gad.
The tribe of who?
The tribe of Gad.
The tribe of Gad. Anybody, we just talked about Gad. I know everybody knows who Gad is. Y'all know who Gad is? Go ahead, sis. You want to say it? Who Gad?
The Indians.
Gone. So-called Native American, the North American Indians. Yeah, right. That's this brother right. This brother right here is so-called. Is a Gadite, the so-called Native American Indian, North American Indian. You understand? And everybody knows. If you don't, the horrible. Our oppressor was very brutal to the North American. It gets lost with the tribe of Judah and slavery, but you got to think, before they even started the transatlantic slave trade 200 years before that, 150, 200 years before, they were here in North America being very brutal, raping, pillaging the North American Indians, man. And it was the foundation of the treatment of the tribe of Judah here in North America. Like, what they did to them, brother, it was horrible. Like, you read some of the things that they did to the tribe of Gad, oh my God, you would cry. If you were to go on a reservation today, you would cry. If you were to look up the horrible statistics of the North American Indian girls that go missing, you would, I mean, it's tragic. Right. It is absolutely tragic. And to say that is not even a word. Like, how cruel could somebody be to one people? Like, that's the story of our oppressor and us. The cruelty that we endured under our oppressor, man. Like, that's why it's so heavy. You get into these classes and you learn the truth of the Bible. Keep going.
Verse 14. Then the tribe of Gad and the captain of sons of Gad shall be Elisab, and the sons of Reuel.
You look, man. But once again, man, you get into these classes, learn the truth of the Bible. You understand? Learn the truth of the Bible and learn the history. Learn our history. Learn your history. You black, so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. It's important. I thought you want to say something?
Oh, talking the tribe of Gad.
Oh, go ahead. You want to say something?
Come on. And the ad about the tribe of Gad, it's very important to understand the history of the Gadites, because a lot of so-called blacks and Negroes, the Gadites were actually classified as so-called Negro at some point in time in history. That's why, I may not look like a normal Gadite, but in reality, that's exactly what I am. And because of that, we were actually enslaved. The Native Indians were the first ones enslaved, then the Negroes, and then the Hispanics.
That's right.
All right. So that's why. So it's very taking count of that history and things like that. You want to research how the tribal governments were set over the Native Indians and how they were put into reservations. It's something that we want to actually look into, because we want to know about the oppression that's happened to our brothers and sisters that are the Hispanic and Native Indian tribes.
That's right.
The Bible says Israel and Judah were oppressed together. All right, we went through the same oppression. So,
that's right. No, go ahead. That's all right. That's absolutely true. Once again, brother, do these classes and learn your history. Learn the Black History Month over now, so y'all can forget about Negroes forget about Black History after Black History Month, but not in the UPK. Since 1969, we've been teaching Black History every day of the week. Every class, every day is nothing but Black history. It's nothing but history about our forefathers, and not just the brutality of what we went through, because of course Black History Month is always centered around us being slaves. We had a history before we were slaves. Right. The sister Esther, we were just celebrating the Feast of Purim last night. You got Judas Maccabees during the Feast of Hanukkah, the Passover, the Tabernacles, the first fruits. We got so many high holy days about noble Black and Hispanic men and women and sisters. You understand? That we celebrate and keep every year. Every single year, because we are ordered and commanded to, because we do not forget the brothers and sisters that held it down for us. That held it down for us to be able to assemble now. If it wasn't for Judas Maccabees and them brothers in the first and second Maccabees coming together during the Feast of Hanukkah, celebrating our holy days, I don't know where we would just still be slaves right now. Right. Like, that's part of Black history too. Right. Not just Carter G. Woodson and Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks. Judas Maccabees, Esther, Hadassah, like all these brothers and sisters, noble Black men and women, Hispanic and Native American women and men, are our foundation, and we should never forget about them. Right. You understand? With that, I imagine just us up here. Not yet, not yet. Wait 1 second, don't say it just yet, it's a lot. I'm gonna say La Yashar. God, give it a try. Go ahead, give it a try. La Yashar Allah.
Well, say La. Then Yashar Allah.
La Ashala.
Go ahead, say it.
La Ashala.
La Yashar. Practice. Hopefully, God. You want to have it touching the paper, right? So there you go. Most High Christ. Okay, Imagine. Everybody stand. Wapunya Equidam, which means to turn and face the east. Alright.
We'll do the Lord's Prayer in Allah Shawan Kodash. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemaya.
Shabbat Shemaya.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakwaka.
Malakwaka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Batazaka.
Batazaka.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Ba'arataza.
Ba'arataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Bashemaya.
Bashemaya.
Nathanawa.
Nathanawa.
Lakham.
Lakham.
Kal.
Kal.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalak Nawa.
Wasalak Nawa.
Kabawak Nawa.
Kabawak Nawa.
Kasalak Nawa.
Kasalak Nawa.
Kabawak Yanawa.
Kabawak Yanawa.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Tabaya'a Nawa.
Tabaya'a Nawa.
Banasayawan.
Banasayawan.
Abal.
Abal.
Hawashai Nawa.
Hawashai Nawa.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Rai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalakwa.
Hamalakwa.
Waha'ala.
Waha'ala.
Wahatabara.
Waha'tabara.
La'awalamium.
Awalamium.
Amen.
Amen. In the English, Our Father,
Father,
which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
As
it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not.
Into temptation.
Into temptation.
But deliver us. From evil.
From evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it. Hakak. The power in the Lashawan Kodash. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashim.
Bahashim.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Baba Kusha.
Baba Kusha.
Nathan Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Hakak.
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 Lavapaha.
Lavapaha.
Hal Makara.
Kal Makala.
Wakal Marawa.
Wakal Marawa.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Hamatazaraya.
Hamatazaraya.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lahakuyam.
Lahakwiyam.
Hamathyam.
Hamathyam.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Arakawa.
Arakawa.
Hatama'ala.
Hatama'ala.
Legarashad.
Lagarashan.
Ba'ashim Yahawashi.
Ba'ashim Yahushai.
The water of man.
The water of mud. In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahawashi.
Please give us the power.
Give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
All manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahawashi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 121 in the Lashawan Kodash.
The camera.
Oh, so like.
It's like that's my fault.
You want me to lift it up?
That's the right. Select.
Psalms 121 in the Lashawan Kodash. Asha'a.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahohoya.
Ahohoya.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'a.
Yaba'a.
Isaiah.
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 Ma'ayin.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shemaiah.
Shemaiah.
Wa'arataza.
Wa'arataza.
Al-Yathan.
Al-Yathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Wagalka.
Wagalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'a.
La'a.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamah.
Shawamah.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Ayah.
Aliyah.
Yamyanka.
Yanyanka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'a.
La'a.
Yakaka.
Kaka.
Wayara.
Wayara.
Belayala.
Alayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makalrai.
Kara.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Napashka.
Atnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Haza'atka.
Azaka.
Wabawa'aka.
Wabawaaka.
Ma'aita.
Ma'itha.
Wa'ai.
Wa'ai.
Awalam.
Iwalam.
Aman.
Aman. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth
From this time forth,
and even forevermore,
even forevermore,
so be it.
so be it. Psalms 83 in the Lashawan Kodash. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al Damiyah Laka,
Al Damayah Laka,
Al Tacharash,
Al Thakarash,
Wa Al Tashakwat,
Wa Al Dashakwat,
Al
Al
Kaya Hana,
Kayana,
Awayab Yaka,
Awayabyuka,
Yahama Yawan,
Yahama Yawan,
Wamashanayaka,
Wamanashanayaka,
Nasha'awa,
Nasha'awa,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al Imaka,
Al Imaka,
Ya'arayamwa,
Arayamwa,
Sawad,
Sawad,
Waya Tayai Tazawa,
Wayataya Tazawa,
Al Tazapawan Yaka,
Al Tazapawanyaka,
Amarawa,
Amorwa,
Lakawa,
Kawa,
Wanahak Yadam,
Wanakakidam,
Magoya,
Magoya,
Wala'a,
La,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yasha'ala,
Sham Yasha'ala,
Aywad,
Aywad,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawa, it's like it, Nawa Ay Tazawa,
Nawa Tazawa,
La,
La,
Wakadwa,
Kadwa,
Aldaka,
Alyaka,
Baya,
Barya,
Yakarahwa,
Yakaratwa,
Ahoya,
Ahalia,
Arawam,
Adawam,
Wa, Ya, it's like Wa Yashama Alayam,
Waya Shema'aliyam,
Mawa'aba,
Mawa'aba,
What, it's like it, Mawa'aba,
Mawa'aba,
Wahagoya,
Wahagoya,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa Amawan,
Wa I'm a one,
Wa Amalak,
Wa I'm a lock,
Halashak,
Palashah,
I'm Yashabya,
I'm Yeshabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gam Ashawar,
I'm Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zawawai,
Zarawai,
Labanya Lawat,
Labani Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha Laham,
Aisha Laham,
Kamayan,
Kamadyan,
Kasaya Sara'a,
Kasaya Sara'ah,
Kayayan,
Kayab,
Manakal,
Banahar, Yashwan,
Nashamadwa,
Nashamadwa,
Ba'ayan Da'ara,
Ba'ayan Da'ara,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La Adama,
La Adama,
Shayatamwa,
Shayathamwa,
Narayamawa,
Nadayamawa,
Ha'ira,
Ka'ira,
Wakaza'aba,
Wakaza'aba,
Wakazabak,
Wakazabak,
Wakatazalmanai,
Wakazazalmanai,
Ha Nasakamwa,
Kal Nasayakamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarawa,
Amarawa,
Nayarasha,
Nayarashah,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Ah, Na'awa,
Na'awah,
Alahaya,
Alahayam,
Alahaya,
Alahayah,
Shayatamwa,
Shayathamwa,
Kagalgala,
Galgala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya Wasa,
Lapunya Rakah,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Taba Ira ya Ira,
Saba Ira Ya Ira,
Wakalahaba,
Kalahaba,
Talahat,
Salahat,
Hayam,
Hayam,
Khan,
Khan,
Taradatma,
Saradatma,
Basa Iraka,
Basa Iraka,
Wabasa Wapaka,
Wawasawa Pafka,
Taba Halam,
Saba Halam,
Malaha,
Malaha,
Hanyaham,
Panyam,
Kwalawan,
Walawan,
Waya Bakwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Bashwa,
Waya Bahalwa,
Wayabahalwa,
Aya Ay,
Ayai,
Waya Kapawa,
Wayakaparwa,
Waya Abadwa,
Waya Abadwa,
Waya da Iowa,
Waya the Iowa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atha,
Atha,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labaka,
Abadka,
Ayawan,
Ayawan,
Al,
Ha,
Ba'arataza,
Rataza,
Aman.
Aman. In the English, Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
For lo,
For
thine enemies make a tumult.
thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden
And
ones.
consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off
let us cut them off
from being a nation.
from being a nation,
That the name of Israel
that the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more remembrance.
For they are consulted together with one consent.
For they are consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom
The tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab
of Moab
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Ammon,
and Ammon,
Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher also is joined with them.
Asher also is joined with
They
them.
have opened the children of Lot.
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to
as to
Sisera,
Jabin,
as to
at
Jabin,
the brook of Kasan,
at the brook of Kassar,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make their nobles like a red,
like Zed,
like Zahir,
yea, all their princes,
all the princes,
as Zabah,
as
and
Zabah,
as Amunah,
and as Amunah,
who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
Let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of Yahweh in possession.
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
Oh my power,
All my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the
and
wood,
as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
So persecute them with thy
and
tempest,
make them afraid with thy storm.
and make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded,
let them be
in
confounded
trouble forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame,
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
So be it.
So be it. Blessings in the Lashawan Kwadash. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Mayak Yahweh.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Alahayah.
Wa Alahayim.
Matazab Yah.
Matazab Yah.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawap Yam.
Ha Alawapyam.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Kutazayanyam.
Ha Quatazayanyam.
Ha Kayayam.
Ha Kalagyanyam.
Wa Ha'akwapyan.
Wa Akwapyam.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
The water of man.
The water Amun. In the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahana.
Commanding General
The
Yahana.
generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
The prayer of the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living.
in all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and
To
destruction.
the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and
To
destruction.
the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose the treasure.
To shake loose the
Of
treasure
the rich of Israel.
of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
Enter thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Send punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nation.
And their drug dealers.
And the drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
And the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitatus.
The
Gay movement.
movement.
Lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
Spies. Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Marines. reads.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And the airwaves.
Cable access channel.
Cable access channel.
And the radio channel.
And the radio channel.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the spirit.
Of any of thy people.
Of any of thy people.
That seek to stop
That
us.
seek to stop us.
And bring swift destruction.
Bring swift destruction.
To all the heathen.
To all the heathen.
That stand in the way.
That stand in the way.
That try to stop us.
That try to stop us.
From broadcasting your
From
word.
broadcasting your word.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the
Let
plagues.
loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go.
Cause them to go.
To and fro.
To and fro.
Through the earth.
Through the earth.
And consume them.
And consume them.
Let the plague.
Let the plague.
Shake the house of the thief.
Shake the house of the thief.
And the murderer.
And the murderer.
Let Yahweh shot.
Let Yahweh shot.
Michael and Gabriel.
Michael and Gabriel.
Come down with the flying saucers.
Come down with the flying saucers.
And punish all the heathen.
And punish all the heathen.
That come up against us.
That come up against us.
As we speak thy word.
As we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all.
Cause it to be known by all.
That it is the angels that have done it.
That is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media.
Cause it to be spread through the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it. Bless Israel in the Lashawan Kodash. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wa Yasha'ala.
Wa Yasha'ala.
Wahab Bayah Sapaya.
Wahab Yasaparia.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Rapah.
Magad.
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 Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
The word of
The
Amon.
water Amun. What we said in the English was Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Sar, which means to turn. Okay, men of Israel, gird up thy loins and prepare to salute the Torah. Alright, so what you gonna do? I go a little more straight. There you go. So you're gonna turn to me and then you're gonna turn to the Rosh. Alright, we're gonna salute the Torah. And then God. You're gonna salute the Torah. Alright. Yah Bashim Yah Shabrak Yah. And then you turn to the opposite Rosh. You're gonna do the same.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barak Yah.
Sar, now you're going to just turn it back straight. Alright. Alright, sisters, Yeshavia, which means to be seated. Salaki. I'm sorry, Amazon. Okay, now Salaki, sisters, now Yeshavia, which means to be seated. Alright. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Aymadim Shabbat, Aymadim, Barak,
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barak Yah.
Yadi Matah. Now, sisters, Aymadim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Aymadim Shabbat, Aymadim, Barak, Yahweh Shema Aladun, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yadi Matah. Dismiss. Khan, Salakia, any brothers or sisters want to be anointed? You want to be, okay. Khan, no sweat, most high in Christ. Alright. We're going to wrap the scroll up real fast. Hold on. So you can come up here, so like we're gonna move the table back. You two are, you can go back and go to the seat. You can take the stuff with you. Okay. No sweat. We're gonna move the table back so she can get in front of the camera. Alright, just a little bit. Okay, through our. Actually, if you want to, you can just stand right here. We can turn the camera on her.
Sir, Mr. Walker.
We can just turn the camera on her. And then you can just turn it back on us.
Come.
In fact, just scoot the camera all the way back. That way the sister can stand right in front of you. And then just go look at the screen real fast, right? Go see how it looks. Sis, you can step right here. And what's your name, sis? Shayara. Okay, Most High Christ. Everything
We just wanna we'll stand in the. It'll be better if we stand also in the We'll push the seats up and we'll stand in the back. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
Right, come.
Okay.
Come. Where's the wall?
Raising as well.
Come, sir.
The what?
Just wanna make sure it's wall.
You want to lift your just a little bit. Yeah, cover. So I can lift it a little bit more. I don't know. Just want to lift it forward. No, I'm saying you can lift it up a little bit more. All right, when we point to you, you gonna say your name? All right. You saying right here? This is one?
Come.
Okay. Okay, no sweat. All right. Just us up here is gonna say the prayer, okay? Yabaraka Yahweh.
Yabaraka Yahweh.
Waya Shamaraka.
Waya Shamaraka.
Ya'ar Yahweh.
Ya'ar Yahweh.
Panyawa.
Panyawa.
Alyaka.
Alyaka.
Waya Kanka.
Waya Kanka.
Yasha'a.
Yasha'a.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Panyawa.
Panyawa.
Alyaka.
Alyaka.
What? Salakia. Salakia. Waya Shamlaka.
Waya Shamlaka.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Rapah.
Magun.
Magun.
Hagun.
Magun.
Shayara. Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
The water of mud.
The water of mud.
Most High Christ, sis.
Do I have to wait until
No. If you want to get done, you come on. You ain't got to wait. Most High Christ. Let me open the bag up. Alright. Any kind of saying. Most High Christ, sis. And what's your name, sis? Kim, okay. That's good. When I point to you, you say your name, okay? Okay. Again, once again, just me and Officer Rock is going to say the prayer up here. Alright? Yabaraka Yahweh.
Yabaraka Yahweh.
Waya Shamaraka.
Waya Shamaraka.
Ya'ar Yahweh.
Ya'ar Yahweh.
Panyawa.
Panyawa. Alyaka. Waya Kanka.
Yasha'a.
Yahweh. Panyawa. Alyaka.
Waya Shamlaka.
Shalom.
Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. Barak. Rapah. Magun. Hagun. Kim. Ba'ashim Yahushua. The water of mud. Most High Christ. Anybody else? Okay. With that, all right. Class dismissed. Most High Christ.